Hey, this is Stuart Stewall's Gaming, and welcome back to today's episode of Survival on Mars. In today's episode, we are going to work on updating our base to allow connection of our Mars rover to it to easily transfer the stuff we've mined with our new mining rig that we've attached to our Mars rover. And then, if we have time as well, I'd like to make some additions to our base to improve it, such as a full assembler and a full refinery, which will then allow our expandability even further. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to come in here and go to the production tab and go to tools. Something that's going to help today is going to be building an improved drill. So now that that's done, I'm going to drag this across and we're going to pull this other one out. But something important to recognize that if I press 3, so what my drill is meant to be, it's not there anymore. So we're going to come over to our character's tools, and you can see that and we'll just drag it down there, and now I've got it. So what I'm going to do is essentially going to build a platform or a place right here for our miner to pull up at, and then we can unload our stuff. So, but I need it below, and I'll explain a little bit why I choose to go below, but let's kind of mine our way. So now we're underneath it. So now we can have a trench. It's not really the direction I wanted it to go, but we'll try again. So, because what I'm going to want to have happen is it's going to come out and go straight that way. So, let's see if I can build... Oh, that's not what I thought it was. We are looking for the junction. Which maybe I don't have a quick key for yet. So as you can see, number 4, that's the small block size junction. The conveyor junction is what I need. I'm going to put that down here. As you can see, it's still in the way, so I need to go back and mine out some more of this. Okay. And I need interior plates, which I apparently don't have any right now. But we're going to go back, and because I'm going to be building multiple of these, I am going to drag that across, but then I'm also going to go in here and go interior plate, or junction. And I'm going to need quite a few of these, so I'm just going to drag multiple across. There is another way to do this, but we'll go over that in a later video. Just to queue up some of those, and then I'm going to actually drag these back across and click the magical button, and it says I need more interior plates. So we'll make some more of those, and other components. Real descriptive. 1, 2. So that'll give somewhere for me to pull up, and then I'm going to build some plates off of it just to kind of give a level surface to pull up on. Let's see. So, some might ask why I'm choosing to use junction boxes instead of conveyor belts, just the normal smaller ones, is actually the dimensions. So I can put armor blocks on the sides of these and it'll function correctly, whereas if I use the other ones, you can't put the armor blocks. They just don't place correctly. So it's just easier to use these. And it also allows for expandability down the road if for whatever reason I decide to extend this or change it or possibly add in a flying craft landing pad. I can without deleting what I already have.
Energy low.
Okay, so while that's going, I need some steel plates. We're gonna build our platform that we want to be able to essentially drive up on. And it also kind of fills in that hole that we had. But at the same time, I also want to bear in mind that if I pull too far forward, I can actually drive off of them or high center myself. It's all a possibility. So essentially I want to pull up here and then drive across. So I need to get rid of this.
Energy critical.
Since it's so critical, I'm going to repark my liner on it, and I'll kind of show you what kind of orientation we're talking here. So I'm going to pull up and brake. So what I'm going to want to do, so actually I might extend my platform out further so then I can use the furthest. Actually probably what I want to do, because I want to be able to pull up alongside the center of those containers, and I'm going to put a connector on it. So we're going to park up real fast, and I'm going to build a couple more, especially now that my batteries are recharged so I don't have that warning all the time. It's kind of nice. Oh, missed. So I'm just gonna pull forward a little bit. Oh, my parking brake's still on. So I'm gonna essentially pull up like this. And so I'm gonna hold down Alt and I can change my camera angle. So it's gonna be essentially, I need to actually be over just a little bit further. But essentially I want it to look like this. So as you can see here, we've got this port on the side, and I'm gonna build a connector up to it.
Storm inbound.
That's something else I want to work on today. So there's a way you can defend against meteor storms, and that's the Gatling guns, and they'll shoot them out of the sky as they approach. When you're at the beginning of the game, it's really unfortunate because there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. This is another use of pistons you could use. So if you dug this down deeper, you could have a piston that comes up and extends to it, where I don't have that already done. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to build a stationary thing. That didn't sound good. Oh, it's lightning. Okay, So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna select some connectors. So I need a large and a small connector. And we are going to, so I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna build it down one. So as you can see here, if I had it here and I'm driving up, I could actually scrape on the bottom of this. But whereas, so what I can do, let's just try it for fit, essentially. If I come up over here and I'm going to build this like so, I actually could make that work. And I'll show you how. So we're gonna weld all this up. So we're gonna come over here and grab everything else we could possibly need, hopefully. Not have enough small tubes, apparently. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here and I'll show you something else it's super important that we do. So we have our connector that's on here and we are going to switch lock. We're gonna add that. And that's really important when you start getting multiple ships, because if you press P to like release your lock, then you can actually release all your ships all at once, and that's never very fun. So I need to scoot over just a little bit more. Maybe. I'm trying not to drive off the edge. It's challenging not to. Because with the drill swinging on the back, it kind of changes everything. Okay. So now that we're almost up above it, right? We might actually trip. So, but let's check one other thing. So I can actually drive over it. That's important. And I'm gonna put my parking brake on. Okay, so now we're like fairly close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press K and I'm going to go down to my wheel suspension. And I'm going to lower it. How close are we? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting closer. I wonder if, so we'll just drop that all the way down. And as you can see, now it's turned yellow, which means that we're ready. And if you look down by 5, it says ready. So now we're docked, and now everything can transfer between the two. I just need to remember that as before I leave, that I need to raise my suspension back up. I might fit, I might not. I'm not 100% positive on that. I am going to actually turn down the game volume with the storm coming in. Oh. Let's see, sound volume. Okay, so now I can actually turn on my... So if we go in here, because I know I have a lot of ice, I can see that I have all that ice still. So I can actually go in here and my engine, I'm going to turn on. Hydrogen engine, we're going to turn on. Okay, something else to bear in mind as well. So the different colors mean those are different, like rovers or different vehicles. So for example, that rover, everything isn't going to be white, but since if I look at the base, everything that's attached to the base is going to be and white. And then everything that's on the other side, so our suspension, our solar panels that are attached to it, we have the conveyor sorter, we've got all of our pistons, they change colors and drills, and the battery's on there. So now I have all that ice, I should be able to generate plenty of power. This should be charging pretty well. Recharge in 46 minutes. So now we are going to work on extending our base a little further, because right now we can produce some things, but we can't produce everything. So if we come to our G menu, we're going to go to our progression. I want the full actually it might be attached right here. So we've got our basic assembler, and then we've got our full assembler. So I'm going to get rid of those two things, and we're going to throw that in there. So we want a basic assembler, and we want the refinery. And there's some special things with these that I kind of wanted to go over in today's little video to show you guys some of the specialties that you can do. Let's see. Shouldn't that? Okay, apparently you can't drag like that. So we're going to come over here and we're going to try to dump everything and then we'll grab everything. So we need some computers and steel and all sorts of stuff. Computers, I know for a fact I'm going to need a lot of steel in order to make this work. So we don't even have enough to really get going on this one. So I'm going to also build the assembler out here just so I can dump resources. So there's something special with these small ports, and I'll explain that in a minute. They're not small conveyor ports, they're something else. Apparently I don't have steel. Or iron, sorry. Okay, well, I am gonna go mine real fast, and I will be back in just a minute. Hey, I just wanted to give a quick update. So, when I went to go mine iron, I ended up getting stuck, and I got stuck because my batteries are so low power. So if I jump into the cockpit, you can see in the bottom right hand corner, I don't have any power. So I'm waiting for that to charge up. I need the solar panels to have enough power in order to recharge the battery, in order to be able to move. So if you look right now, so I'm going to take off my parking brake. Oh, I'm unable to park. And if I go to my batteries, you can see that I have very low power. So at this point, this needs to sit here and wait in order to essentially be able to move. That's kind of where we're at though. So I actually was able to drill down and get some iron. Look here, I've got 11,000 things of iron, and I still have all that ice in here. So something I could do is, if I took some of that iron back, I could build an O2 generator and a small hydrogen engine, and that would give me quite a bit more power than what I currently have, and that might actually be a better way to go, because then I'm not relying on the sun to recharge. Also, something, whenever you have the connector connected, it actually charges off the base. So if the battery on the base has significantly more power, I will have that. So this is actually a pretty common problem though in space engineers, where you have to deal with the problem. So I'm just going to take you along for the ride. I'm going to grab some of this. We're going to fly back so I can get what I need. Something though to bear in mind is I know my bottles of oxygen are getting low, and my hydrogen to fly around, and I'm going to dump this And it gets sucked in, and I'm going to stop all this because I need to be very precise in what I do. So I need an O2 generator of the small variety, and I also need a hydrogen motor of the small variety as well. So I've got my list of things here. Let's see. So we're going to try to pick it up. So I need more steel plates. And I know I'm going to need some of that. And computers. Oh. Let's see. I might need more steel plates. All said and done. So while that's getting worked on, so I'm going to add this to it because I've got so much ice in it right now. But you can see right here, this is clearly working really well. This battery is going to be recharged in 7 more minutes, and it is pretty well charged. As far as ice though, let's take a look. I bet you we burned through a lot, and we did. We've got 10,000 left there, and we've got some of the O2 generator and stuff, so it's doing alright. It definitely could do better. So these holes right here though are meteorite holes, so, and sometimes they have good things in them like uranium. That one just has ice in it. But let's grab all of our stuff and try to repair our Rover. Construction components. I think I'm going to have to make more than one trip, so we're going to take what we can and go. Oh, and large tubes, so we can cancel that. Oh, actually, I do have large tubes over here. I left them in the bottom of my hole. So once I just started drilling down, I found that my drill was not capable of reaching deep enough, so I ended up going down there with my hand drill, and then I just put it into one of these ports, and it goes into your thing, which is a good way to go. So because we've got a shadow on them, it's not the best. So I'm going to build my O2 generator. So let's see. We come through here. That's our O2 generator, and we are going to build it just on there. And hopefully we're going to have enough power to run this to get it started. So what you can do with these is I line them up there, and then I'm going to line it up on this side. But I only need one at this point to start producing power. I'm going to go down in the hole because I left them down here to empty out my thing. They just take up a lot of weight and a lot of space, so it's just not worth it sometimes, and you just have to dump stuff. So let's see if that started up. We're currently not outputting anything. Our O2 generator requires 100 kilowatt hours, or 100 kilowatts, and our batteries are really, really low. So right now I've got a lot of stuff on. But this might be a case where I might just have to restart the game. So like I did before, we're going to save, we're going to exit the menu, and we're going to go back in and we'll see if it starts up, because sometimes this is the issue. The interesting thing is we're limited by power, but it takes power to start these up. That sounds like it's going. And it's filling, which means that we have an excess of hydrogen. So if we come to our battery, we've actually got quite a bit of power. going in. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna let that charge for a minute. Maybe, let's see, 4 hours to charge it up. But we're definitely producing power. So if I take my parking, oh, for some reason it says we are unable to park. I'm not too sure why we're unable to park, but I have no control over anything at the moment. So if I come in here, let's take a look. They're currently off. And it appears that my wheels look like they're stuck. Let's see. Were actually some of them on? Let's make sure that we're all on. For some reason, it looks like my tires are like stuck in the dirt, which is kind of weird. So normally they sit on top like this. If we look back here, I felt like this weird. And it's still sinking. Maybe. This one is stuck as well. See if that works. So that you can see that one side is turning, and this other side is trying to turn. This is a prime example of, you know, dealing with rovers and what happens with rovers. So what we can do is we can come in here and let's see what kind of stuff we have. So we've got air shocks, we've got our, so we're gonna crank the power all the way up, the strength all the way up. We've got our offset, friction, we want that all the way up. And let's see what happens. I'm getting a little bit more movement, but not enough to get out, it looks like. Popping a wheelie on the front. So, since I've got all this stuff on the back, is probably why we're so back heavy. So, I'm gonna back up as much as I can. I'm gonna put my parking brake on. And I'm going to try to like create a little bit of a slope that hopefully we can maybe.
Storm inbound.
Ooh, delightful. And this side is the same thing. You can see where it's trying. Oh. Is that gonna hit my base? It might hit my base. Ooh. All the way around it. You can only survive so many of those before one actually hits you. Okay, we're going to take your parking brake off. Try up, and there we go. So, I'll kind of show you how I was mining though over here. So, I know there's iron down here because I went with my drill and I looked around. So you can also put an ore finder on here and that'll identify it so you can see it. So I just marked it by drilling a little bit of a hole. And I'm going to put my parking brake on. Oh, maybe right here. And now we are going to So we can actually extend because I've got them nice and slowly, and then I'm going to right click, start drilling, and then I'm going to stop just because I want to see, and then it should lift me off the ground. I want to make sure that I don't destroy the iron. And all it's going to do is just lift my back tires off the ground. But as you can see, we're another 8 meters down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach it. There's a possibility I won't. Ooh, smacked pretty hard. Oh, so now you can see that I'm down to the iron level. But I'm not capable of actually getting any of it really. It looks like one of them is mining. You can see that edge one is mining stuff. So another tactic to get lower is we are going to come back to our wheels. I'm going to adjust this power back and the strength back because I don't, want to overdo it. So I'm going to drop the height just so that I'm sitting lower, and then I'm going to, as you can see, that worked, and now I'm able to mine up more than I was before. And we're going to just see how we do. As you can see, it still says 7 hours, so that means that we are producing power and things are good right now. So I'm curious, that might have been what set this, us falling might have got our tires stuck. It looks like we kind of glitched. Okay, so let's see. It could be a case that we are completely full, and it appears that we are not. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the other thing that I was talking about is while I'm down here, I'm going to turn my lights. I can just literally do what I normally do, hold down F, click, and now that I've got my inventory full, I'm going to come up here to this port, and I'm just going to inventory, and I'm going to dump everything. And that steel tube that I had from before is still sitting there. So that's what you do there. But this is a good opportunity to kind of show you what happens. You can get stuck when you're using rovers. It's not impossible. So I'm going to take my parking brake off. Let's see if we can move. We can. Just want to make sure that the drill's all the way up before we completely clear the hole. Or we can right click and it'll just drill it out. So we're going to go back to base, but something to bear in mind is my suspension is still low, so I might be actually dragging, which we want to crank that up. And as you can see, I actually kind of, you might have not noticed, but I was actually jumping almost. And now I'm significantly heavier, so I got to be careful. I don't want to hit like jumps like I did previously and go flying. Especially without the gyro that I still haven't put on this. And we're going to start turning and braking. Whew, man, we have had some meteors pretty close. Oh, see, that's what happens when you, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of, it's still functioning. We'll take another swing at parking this. This time I probably won't go as fast. I tried braking, but the brakes aren't very strong. Which, let's take a look. That's something else we can change. Oh, something is not right. Oh, I accidentally pressed J. Okay, back to this. Let's see. Steering, speed limit, friction, so we can turn that up a little bit and turn our strength up and power. And hopefully that means that we should be able to come to a stop faster. So let's try it. So the wheels are actually in reverse, but because I've got so much weight inside my vehicle right now, that could be part of the issue why it's struggling to stop. Especially because I'm on a hill. Okay, so we're going to go into the above view, and I know that it's right under that O2 generator and my hydrogen motor. And we're almost there, and we're going to put the parking brake on. And then we're going to do what we did before, and we are going to drop slowly. And you can actually see that my wheels are off the ground, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm going to hit 5, and we're locked in. And now it's going to automatically start transferring stuff. So we're going to transfer the ice, and the iron is already transferring. So you can see here that we've got it in the large cargo container, which is on our thing because it's a different color. And in our basic refinery, we already are processing it. So I already know for a fact I still need more of those from our previous adventure. And I think I'm just going to add them back in. So, assembler. I might not get the refinery done today. Let's take a look. We'll grab everything we can. Displays and computers, what I need. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to just get rid of all these displays and computers because I just need to get this up and going. There's some special stuff in here that we want to deal with. So I need 70 of... Let's grab everything I can. Okay, before I forget, I'm going to show you the front here so you can see what happened. So when I hit the edge, I clipped the thing with it. So this is fine. These you can see are not perfect. And I actually am missing 2 blocks because if you come over here, actually that's the way it's meant to look. And that's damaged a little bit, and that's damaged a little bit. Challenges, right? Sweet. So now I'm going to show you what's so special about this assembler. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go to the production menu. So now you can see we have our basic assembler and our full assembler. Our full assembler has a slightly different list than our basic assembler. It allows us to do additional things such as the reactor components, the thruster components, the superconductor. I think, yeah, there's just various things you can do. But if you also look up here, when I go to the basic assembler, we have a different thing versus the full one. So now I can come in here and say, okay, I want to build a refinery. So I look here, there's basic refinery, and if I click this button, it queues everything that I need for it. So in conjunction with our G menu, if I come in here and say refinery, we'll drag that in. And once that gets done, everything is going to work great. And I can just build it, and I don't have to worry about going back and forth a million times trying to build everything. I should have everything built. So next thing is about these small holes. So what these small holes are, there's modules. So there's the speed module, yield module, and a power efficiency module. Each of these modules, and the refinery also has 4 slots, so the assembler has 4 slots and the refinery has 4 slots. You are able to put these on there and it changes things about it. So it'll speed up the production of your assembler. The yield doesn't really affect the assembler at all. That's like the yield of if you're refining uranium. It'll increase the amount that you get from each kilogram of uranium that you're refining. And then your power efficiency module. So if you're running a very tight efficiency for your power, then that's something that's extremely useful, but normally I don't. I try to be overpowered. So let's see, we're going to grab everything from here and we're going to build this real fast. Show you that how that works. So as you can see, for the full refinery, they were all on this side, all the small ports. And we're going to line that up. Get all of our stuff. As you can see, it's just going through and building everything that we're going to need for this. It's going to take some serious time, but that's the beauty of it. So while that's finishing up today, I think I will finish that offline. There's no reason for you guys to sit here and wait for my assembler to get going. We've definitely made some improvements on the base today, now allowing me to go mine stuff more efficiently and then just dump it straight off on base, but then also recharge my batteries more efficiently. So this hydrogen engine will actually recharge that battery as well, if depending on which battery is the lowest. So there's a lot of cool things you can do in Space Engineers. In the next video, we're going to work on upgrading our base a little further, and then hopefully we'll be flying by the next time. It greatly improves your efficiency as far as mining and getting to stuff that actually matters. We're going to require those yield modules take things like gold and platinum, which are hard to come by, and same with uranium, they're hard to come by, so we might actually even leave the atmosphere, whatever little is here on Mars. And we're going to go try to find some other resources. That's kind of our game plan for the next couple of videos. But I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for future videos, please comment below what you would like to see. And we'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.